Hi guys, so this is kind of part two to my what's in my fridge video. This is going to be what's in my pantry, and this will probably go a lot faster because the pantry basically doesn't have as much as the fridge, or doesn't have yeah, I guess doesn't have as much, so we'll see. But I just wanted to show you guys what I have in my pantry that are sort of essentials for me. So I'm gonna start at the top, and I'll just show you a view of my pantry. That's the top. It's not super full, but you know, I have some stuff in there. Okay, what should I start with? Okay, I'm gonna start with what I use as a sweetener. Um, Sometimes for breakfast, but most of the time I use this for baking. I don't like to bake with sugar, so I use maple syrup. So this is definitely a staple. This is pure maple syrup. So good. Um, Another thing that I always have are oats, and I make my own granola if I want oatmeal in the morning. So this is really, really good. So speaking of, my hair is just really weird today. Okay. Speaking of granola, I just made a fresh batch of granola this morning. So I like to keep it in these bins, and this is my homemade granola. It has some seeds in there. It has cranberries, raisins. I usually put walnuts, but I didn't have any walnuts this time, so I put some almonds. But this is definitely a staple that I have for breakfast. And another staple that I have is this is just gluten-free cereal. And I'll try to find the package for you because I have it in my recycling bin. Here we go. I just found it. This is Nature's Path gluten-free cereals, and this one is crunchy maple, and it's made with corn, rice, flax, quinoa, buckwheat, and amaranth. And really, really good, non-GMO. This is sort of my staple cereal that I like to buy. I don't have that all the time, but when I want a quick breakfast, I'll have that. All right, so second shelf is I have a lot of nuts. A lot. Those little chips. There we go. All the nuts. I have a lot. So I buy different kinds. This is a mix. I always have almonds. They're pretty much a mix, and then the rest are different kinds of almonds. So almonds. Those are definitely a staple for me. And the seeds. So I have sunflower seeds, and I keep these in a bin. My sunflower seeds. And pumpkin seeds. That's another staple that I always have. Okay, what else do I have on this? Okay, I'm going to talk about the snacks, which I don't eat all the time, but I like to have when I do feel like I want a snack. I'm a chip person, which I think most people, when they eat a bag of chips, can eat the whole bag, and it's ridiculous. They're crazy addictive. I don't buy chips anymore, but every once in a while, when I want that chip kind of thing, I'll buy tortilla chips. And so I found these. These are by Garden of Eaton, like eating. These are blue chips, and these are non-GMO, organic. These are really, really good. So I have these. And I also have some gluten-free rice chips, brown rice chips that I bought. These are really good. So I have that with salsa. I have that with hummus sometimes. It really depends. Cracker-wise, it's the only crackers that I buy. These are gluten-free rice crackers, and these are nice and light. I buy the salted, or they have a sesame one too that's really good. Again, these are just snacks that I don't have every day, but I like to have on hand if I want a snack. All right, so now my grains. Grains are really, really important. I eat grains, well, every day, but I love grains, and I like to have a nice variety. So I can make different things, and I don't get bored. Not that I would get bored because greens are delicious, But it's nice to have a variety of grains because they have different nutrients. So first I have brown rice. This is just a staple for everyone. And this is minute rice. So this is super, super easy to make. I'm just put it on my counter. What else do I have here? Oh, I found this one. This is a ancient grain mix. There. It has quinoa, oats, millet, buckwheat, amaranth, and quinoa. This is really, really good. So I recommend that if you find that in your grocery store. I have quinoa, but I can't seem to find it. So that's always a basic for me, quinoa. I have some millet. My package is almost finished. But this is my millet, my organic millet. And this is a new grain that I discovered not that long ago, and I'm in love with it. So I eat millet pretty often. And I have this one. This is just brown basmati rice, organic. And that looks really good. So I'm going to be making that soon. So those are my grains. All right. So down here to another thing that I have a lot of are beans. So my beans. Now, I buy canned beans. I do have some dried beans that I use. I just find the canned beans really convenient because you can just take them out. I rinse them really, really thoroughly so they don't have that canned taste. And I buy, most of the time I try to buy ones that are low sodium. But yeah, you have to rinse them really, really well. But just for me, they're really convenient, and they're convenient. That's basically it. Because the dried beans you have to soak and you have to cook for a long time. So I have a variety of beans. Show you down here, all my beans. What do I have? I have black beans. I have lima beans. I have white kidney beans. Yeah, so a whole bunch of different kind of beans. Oh, going on with the grains too, I have a little bit of barley. This is pearl barley, and this is delicious, even for breakfast. Instead of oatmeal, to have pearl barley is really, really good. Back here, I have my pasta, which I don't eat too often. I have pasta maybe once a month. But my gluten-free pasta, this one is made with whole grain brown rice. Sometimes I buy quinoa pasta if I can find it. So that's really good. Let's see. Oh, this is a good staple to have. This is sun-dried tomatoes. And these are delicious. So I always have those. Another thing, this is really a staple of mine. If I don't have it, I have to go buy it right away. They are nori wraps. And if you've ever had sushi, you know what these are. These are the seaweed wraps that we use for sushi. But sea vegetables are super high on iron. They're really, really good for you. I use these just as a wrap. Instead of taking bread, I do a hummus wrap or a veggie wrap or something and use this. I like to break it up too and put it in salads so it has a salty feel without actually adding salt. It's just delicious. It's so good. So that's definitely a staple of mine. Okay, let's go to the bottom shelf. The bottom shelf, I don't think I have too much. I have my, if you can see, this is all my baking stuff. And then at the bottom, these are all my son's treats. So that's the last section there is all my son's stuff. So I won't talk about that because that's not my stuff. But just here I have some more seeds. I have some chia seeds, which they're almost done. But some chia seeds. I always have sesame seeds. Sesame seeds are high in calcium. These are really, really good. Regular baking things that people have, but I like to have dried cranberries for my granola, and also if I want to make cookies or something. And going along with that, I have some dried raisins or dried currants too. Another dried thing, that I always have are dates. Dates are really, really good. And they're good too. I've been experimenting with making more raw recipes, and they're really good for making a crust because the dates get kind of gooey and they get hard. So you make a good crust with the dates. It's really, really good. What else? Oh, I always have unsweetened coconut. I use that on my granola for cookies as well. What else do I have over here? That's pretty much what I have over here. And flour wise, I can't take it out because it's a big container and it's at the back, so I can't really reach it. But I for my flour, I either buy gluten-free flour or I buy like spelt, or what I have this time is kamut flour. So really, really good. Yeah, that's basically my staples in there. And I'm gonna show you above my, we'll go on this side. Above my stove, I have a few things like my oils and things like that. Try to show you guys. I don't know if that came out. Yeah, so these are my things that I have above my fridge. So I have some olive oil. And basically I won't show you everything up there. I have red wine vinegar. I have white wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar. An oil that I love is flaxseed oil. This is really high in omega-3s. So this is really good. Flaxseed oil. And my favorite kind of vinegar, because it's super, super good for you, and I just love it, is apple cider vinegar. So here we go. I usually buy the organic one, but they didn't have it this time, so I was stuck with that brand. And I have my collection of teas. I'm a big tea drinker. So I always have, this is white tea. I'm a huge fan of white tea. This is organic, hold on. Organic white tea. And this is with pomegranate. So this is really, really good. And what I have in the morning when I wake up, after my, oh, lighting is bad, sorry guys. After the lemon water is chai tea. And I found a caffeine-free one. This is organic, caffeine-free chai tea. Really, really good. And I have some other teas, David's teas and things like that. But yeah, those are pretty much my staples in the kitchen. Oh, one more thing before I forget. Of course, I have tons of spices, but I won't go into that because it's pretty much the only spice that, I mean, I love dry spices, but a spice that I definitely have every day because I have it in the morning for my breakfast is cinnamon. So I can't go without cinnamon. So always, always cinnamon. So one last thing is, and this is, if you're vegan, you know this, and my dog is acting up again, but nutritional yeast, really, really good. It kind of adds a cheesy flavor, and it's high in the B vitamins, so it's really, really healthy for you. And of course, sea salt. I always go with sea salt. I have this brand this time. Sea salt is definitely a staple for me. All right, so I think I covered everything in my pantry, and I did before everything in my fridge. So hopefully that sort of gives you an idea of what I have in my kitchen and what I eat. And if you have any questions, you can comment below and sort of let me know if there's any staples that you have that maybe I didn't cover, or like I said, if you have any questions. All right, bye guys.